Hello and welcome to the third part of this study. For you guys that have just come back from Nano, we're on to day 3, Proverbs 1:20 to verse 33. Let me read that. Wisdom calls aloud in the street, she raises her voice in the public squares. At the head of the noisy street she cries out, in the gateways of the city she makes her speech. How long will you simple ones love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? If you had responded to my rebuke, I would have poured out my heart to you and made my thoughts known to you. But since you rejected me when I called, and no one gave heed when I stretched out my hand, since you ignored all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh at your disaster. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind, when distress and trouble overwhelm you. They will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but will not find me, since they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Since they would not accept my advice and spurned my rebuke, they will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. So, question number 1, what were the consequences of listening to wisdom that we saw yesterday? Well, it was 2 options really. One was listening to the advice of wisdom and following what people like parents tell us, and then that would be like walking down the street in the very best clothes. The other option was listening to the enticement of fools that pull you away, and that would end in disaster. Look at question 2. What sort of scene is being painted here in verses 20 to 33? Well, the scene is of wisdom raising her voice and foolishness raising the voice as well. So it's the choice between following wisdom and following folly. Why is wisdom raising her voice? Well, she's raising her voice because God doesn't want you to be a fool. Think about Jesus' life. How can we see him as wisdom raising their voice? Well, Jesus taught. He used his voice to teach and to plead with people to return to God. So in that way, we see Jesus as a fulfillment of wisdom raising her voice. Question 3, what is the promise wisdom makes to those who listen? Well, it would be down there in verse 33, but whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. So the call of wisdom is to say, listen and you will be safe. Ultimately, that's the promise of heaven. What promise is given to those who will not listen? Well, it's not so much a promise as a destination. Look at verse 28. They will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but will not find me. Now, of course, that verse is ultimately about judgment. A point where there is no point of return. As Trev said on Nano, in this life there is always a point of return. You can always listen to the voice of Jesus and come back, but one day that door will be shut. When will verses 28 to 32 be fulfilled? Well, I've already given that answer. That is on the day of judgment. Why should this make Christians full of compassion? Well, because until that day, there is always a chance. How do you see this compassion in Jesus' life on earth? Well, look at the people that he hung around with. Look at the people that he pleaded and gave a chance to change to. Think about that woman that was thrown down in front of Jesus in John chapter 8. Think of the woman at the well, John chapter 4, that we looked at on Nano. Both of those had a chance to return. Question 5, wisdom calls to you. Where are you in this scene? Well, either you will be the one in safety or you'll be the one in danger. Know where you are and plead to change. Question 6, who are you going to listen to today? Well, I always say that the way you live says what you believe. So when you live today, think of listening to the voice of wisdom or the voice of folly. But God bless you, and tune in again tomorrow. Good to see you. Bye.